How's it going, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Crypto Clout. I am your host, FaZe Crypto, and today in this DigiByte video, I'm going to be going over a couple of the news items that I find interesting. Basically, we do have a few articles here from Cointelegraph. We have some situations that I want to talk about with, Bitcoin appearing alongside DigiByte, Cardano, Ethereum in some of the, the Daily HODL article. This one's a little bit old from June 1st. But it is kind of interesting, currently trading at, 9,561. Well, of course, at the time of making this video, we have 649. But still, I just think that it's always interesting to look at these different articles. Of course, Bitcoin has surged nearly 32% since the start of the year, up from 7,203. This article is interesting. It talks about, a few different things, but I don't know. It's just interesting to see DigiByte appearing in headlines. If you guys are also interested, a really cool resource for all things DigiByte is the DigiByte Reddit. I don't know how many of you use the DigiByte Reddit, but shout out to these guys. They definitely are right on game when it comes to putting out some interesting stuff. There was an interesting article on here about getting started with crypto mining. Always interesting to refer back to here. I've been really looking for different resources since I feel like Foz. I was using Foz for a while for cryptocurrency news aggregates, aggregating information, but it's sort of just turned into a bunch of just lamestream articles, about the pandemic and all these other things. Not really my cup of tea sort of information. I'm more interested in, real hard-hitting stuff, when it comes to cryptocurrency and all these different things. But we do have cryptocurrency news from Japan. This is interesting. There are some very, very interesting developments that are taking place. And we do have this Chinese city launching basically some interesting news coming out of there. Definitely interesting to see, how a lot of these different aspects of the cryptocurrency space have been developing. But ultimately, I want to talk about the role that DigiByte plays in the future. In particular, when we look at something like DigiByte, and the speed, the differentiation. When we want to talk about Bitcoin, and in particular, where we're going to be seeing a lot of these different aspects of the space, really making an interesting development, in particular, while we see the overall, especially while we watch, the gradual, blockchain being more and more implemented. It will be interesting to see just how a lot of these different aspects really do compound. In particular, I think that the role that DigiByte plays, really is an essential one, and it is and one that's often overlooked by a lot of different businesses, especially right now while we're watching sort of the race to make use of blockchain and sort of transition out of the old paradigm and start to implement these various different technologies. I think that blockchain is probably one of the greatest resources, and DigiByte importantly has a very significant role to play in this role. So if you know somebody who runs a business, somebody who's operating using the old world technology, put them on game. Shout out DigiByte to people who run businesses. Shout out blockchain technology. Let them know that it's more than just. I think oftentimes the layman, the sort of casual cryptocurrency viewer just views Bitcoin and such as just a lot of money. They don't. They think about trading. They get it confused with trading stocks. And I think that that's probably one of the greatest crypto sins that are out there right now. Is sort of the failure on the part of content creators to educate and really put people on game when it comes to a lot of these different things. This is an interesting article. Is a $90 million inflow into Bitcoin on a daily basis realistic? This quote right here says at 100K per BTC, the market has to absorb miner supply of 90 million USD daily, assuming that there are 10 million people worldwide buying BTC on a regular basis. It would cost them each $9 daily to sustain those price levels. I've met people who spend more than $9 on coffee. We all know those people. Data suggests otherwise, though. Hodlers throughout the past ATHs have not been selling in significant portions. 60% of BTC is not moved for more than 2 years. Even if that were to be true, the long time supply of BTC will eventually equal the mining new supply. What would it take to reach $100,000? Well, the absorption of 90 million in daily selling pressure will sustain BTC at 100K. Now, these things probably could be very much right around the corner. I would honestly say that the day and age where you could probably buy a house for 0.1 BTC doesn't sound too unrealistic if you really are just watching the dominoes fall, the real estate bubble, and all these different things. The 2000, what we're headed up towards now, we're sort of in the beginning stages of the beginning of a global recession, depression. I mean, and once the numbers come home, the chickens come home to roost. All those different, the printing. We'll have to pay for our sins. The unemployment rate, not just in the U.S., but these things are going to hit hard. And I think that the old paradigm will be washed away, and Bitcoin will simply do what it was designed originally to do. For Bitcoin to hit 100,000K, it would need to achieve a market capitalization of 2.1 trillion. That is around 25% of the market cap of gold. In other words, the perception of Bitcoin as an established store of value has to increase, and institutional retail futures and options markets actively would have to reach new levels. Bitcoin has seen more progress in being recognized as a store of value in recent months. JP Morgan becoming the first major bank to reportedly open accounts for cryptocurrency exchanges. And it will be very interesting to see. So this is that article I wanted to talk about. The Chinese city is launching a blockchain notary program. So of course, according to China Quality News, authorities of Sukoshu Municipal, sorry about that, Market Supervision Bureau, and that word, Bureau of Justice will cover personal freedom, life, health, property rights, and more. Blockchain-based cloud network to distribute files. All the materials will be available through the cloud. Audio and video records will be shared among notaries. So it is interesting. China's blockchain adoption status is something that's worth paying attention to. It is now no longer profitable to mine cryptocurrency using one's own equipment and electricity. It is better to resort to hijacking other resources for the mining of cryptocurrency. The current health opportunities, for the different aspects of the shifting paradigm, certainly touched upon there as well. So it will be very interesting just to see. I mean, especially while we're sort of in a race now to see which countries are able to adapt blockchain. And I think that it's a winning game for DigiByte either way. What I was talking about with the different companies that are able to implement, DigiByte, not necessarily DigiByte, but blockchain technology, will certainly be the leaders of their own particular sector, their own special performance and such. Definitely will be an interesting thing to pay attention to, while we watch a lot of these different variables compounding, and which is another reason why I think that the DigiByte community, is ahead of the game when it comes to just watching, the rest of the world catch up to us, and it will, and especially the rest of the cryptocurrency space. Other fans of different altcoins, we're all sort of in the same boat when it comes to regulations and all those different things. I just consider DigiByte more of a yacht than just like a paddle boat or whatever. In that certain context, is my own opinion. Now, of course, remember this video is for entertainment, educational purposes only. Now, I'm not your dad. I'm not your financial advisor. You have to make your own decisions. Come to your own conclusions and do your own research in this space. It is high risk, high volatility, and you could lose everything. So make sure that you do your own research. And remember, I'm not your dad. I'm not a financial advisor. This video is purely for entertainment, educational purposes only. And I would never tell you what to do or what to buy. That's not legal. But yeah, all that being said, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Make sure that you guys subscribe, comment down below, share this, put people on game. Continue to spread the good word and do the good word, the good deed of spreading DigiByte awareness, DigiID, all these great things, DigiAssets. Pretty exciting stuff happening every single day in this world of cryptocurrency. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video. I will see you guys in the next one. Have a good one.